Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode.
And with that, the Keep Sell Loan series for 2024 comes to an end. Oh, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. I'm joined in the virtual room, filled with every line again. Wow, none of us are on time. I wasn't on time, to be fair. That's kind of how it worked. But hey, you know, I care about your moments from the weekend. Did you have any?
I had a pretty good one. Like I kind of spoiled it on Friday, but managed to pick up an award in my football presentation. I did get goal of the season, so that was pretty good. And then the England game as well. How that ended was pretty good as well. So yeah, I've had a good weekend.
I'm going to go to Ollie.
Yeah, the England game was probably my highlight of the weekend as well. Like I didn't get up to all that much, but what I did do was watch a lot of football, and the football was good.
Okay. Chris?
Well, as predicted, I didn't get a lot of sleep.
Oh, you did predict this, yes.
I did. So I struggled to go to sleep. So I went to sleep after midnight on both nights, Friday and Saturday.
Right, calm down.
My son
woke up. He had an energy drink in one hand.
But wait. My son woke up at 5 a.m. on Saturday morning.
Yeah. And
5:45 on Sunday morning. So yeah, I need another weekend.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. That's pretty fair. Okay. I promised the Discord this. So I'm gonna give Chris a run for his money on rants because my weekend was dominated by Denmark and Germany. And to me, as I said online, it was the greatest robbery since Dominic Toretto's crew stole that vault in Rio. I cannot and I will not say 2-0 is a fair result because it wasn't. Everything in that second half was a joke. It was a disaster, and it was classic Premier League referees at their finest on the biggest of stages, because the offside call for the Anderson goal boils my blood. It's not offside. No, I don't care what the rule is. Both players are physically level. His toe is not an advantage. Offside to me is when an attacker has an advantage over the defender, and a toe is not an advantage, because if he's just moved his foot in, literally pivoted, it would have been fine. That's a fair goal for me, ruled out. And the other end of the field was something that all pundits have agreed on, so I'm not alone here. A worse decision when the ball hit Anderson's hand from 2 yards away. I'm baffled. I'm lost. Where's he? I want you to help me out here. Where's he meant to put his hand or his arm? It's a natural position.
No, to be fair, it's that's not handball. It's just not handball.
It hit him from 2 yards. So general use of the word, you're telling me at the PGMOL, FIFA, I don't know who does these stupid rules, that you're telling me that as a player, if I boot the ball and aim for a defender's hand, it's a penalty. You got to change that, because I feel robbed.
I could be wrong here, but I feel like I've heard this before. Isn't the handball rule in the Premier League different to one that's in the Champions League?
Yeah.
That would say so much.
It is
wouldn't
different.
It?
Yeah.
That would say
it is different, yeah.
As soon as I saw the cricketometer come out, I regressed back to when I was a teenager and I had a tantrum. I knew that this was the same thing. I want to put this out here. This is the same VAR team that refused to give a penalty for the exact same incident involving Ashley Young last season. So don't give me the bullshit that we're doing consistency over the board, because you're not. You're not.
But that does show, though, in fairness to the referees, that does show that it's the laws of the game that need changing, because, like, you are right, and Berth's absolutely spot on with what he just said. The law's different. So by Premier League standards, it's not handball, but by UEFA standards, it is. And the refs have to go by the laws. And it's the same with the offside. The offside law is the problem, not the technology. The semi-automated offside system works. It works really well. But the law is wrong. And it just, VAR highlights how stupid the rules are, because they're made by people who don't know what the fuck they're doing.
It still baffles me because like they're not even biased. It wasn't even. It was just looking at it going that you can't. I could just imagine.
In fairness,
just pissed off.
The Germany opener being ruled out was a bit soft.
I agree.
It was soft.
Yeah,
It was very soft. It was very soft. Doesn't change that. I'm pissed off.
You know,
I'm annoyed now.
No,
that was it.
No, but Chris is right. Like the rules have to change. Like, and we've been talking about it for so long with the offside rule in particular. It's just been daft how long it's taken for anything to actually happen. And all that's even done is bring semi-automated offsides to the Premier League. We're still going to have this umming and ahhing because, like Chris says, the rules are poor. Yeah. I'd like to see, and I saw this for the first time on Twitter the other day. It's not my idea, but I'd like to see like an appeal system, like in the NFL, like you like for offsides like that, where it's so close, you can say we're challenging that play. We think this player is offside in this position when the ball.
And they get a flag as well with the club's badge on.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you get 2 appeals. If you lose, you don't keep your appeal. Right? And if you win, then it's all like challenging, like with Hawkeye in tennis. It should be like that.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
Because at the moment, every single decision is scrutinized to this standard.
Everything sucks.
And it just can't be.
Before we dive into the news, we got some Sheva shout outs. Oh, we got hat trick again. Oh my word. I love this. I love it. We've got the real Greg D, who said, really entertaining Chelsea podcast. Love listening to the podcast. Great content and great discussion. Feels like I'm having a chat about Chelsea with my friends, but stop backing Raheem Sterling. He's terrible. Send him to Saudi Arabia. Love you guys. Keep it up. We personally have no influence on the club's decisions. Otherwise, come on. N'Golo Kante was going to be sold many years ago. I said that. Next up, FL James, who said proper Chelsea lads. That's nice, considering what some people had said. As an American supporter of an English football club, I feel this is the only way to listen and stay up to date. Proper lads with great banter up the Chelsea. Oh, we like you. And Rev. I don't know if this is a reverend or his name's Rev. I don't know. Rev D. Powell has said addicted. Can't really explain why I love it so much. Hey, we'll take it. Thank you very much.
I love that. There's something about them.
Hey, I'd like to know if you're a reverend or just called Rev. I'd like to know that now. That's going to bug me for ages. Let us know. But hey, thank you as always for your reviews. If you want yours read out, drop 5 stars on the Apple Pods and we will do that.
We're shameless and we don't care.
Right, news time. Only one story. That's the Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall to Chelsea move. It got the here we go. Fabrizio Romano said that he's passed his medical. The deal is till 2030, and he's going to be reunited with Enzo Maresca and Wesley Fofana. Chelsea are going to pay around 30 million to Leicester after their final round of talks, and I believe a player's going the other way. Or is it Michael Golding? Is that right?
Yeah.
Should have wrote that down, but I'm just going from memory. We'll do a full scout report on Thursday show, but for now, immediate reaction.
I might be in the minority here, but I actually don't think it's a bad signing.
Oh, I'm with you here.
I think he's actually a really good player. He tore up in the championship last year. He's still relatively young.
Yeah.
Maresca clearly likes him, clearly wants him, so I'm not mad at it. And 30 million, I don't think it's actually a bad amount.
Our 30 million signings are always the best. So I'm hyped and I'm excited. So
Danny Drinkwater would beg to differ.
That was 35 million. That was 35. Doesn't count. Does not count. Chris, come on, join us. Come on,
Brooke. Come on. Again, right. Is it a bad signing? No. Is it a good signing?
Yes.
No. because what do we do with him in a year when Maresca went here then?
Oh, we're sticking with him for the long term, didn't you hear?
Yeah, we've said that with everyone, and we've had 4 so far. So that's worked out really well. Listen, he's not a bad player. But the signing, it's a waste of 30 minutes.
It's a sideways move.
Yeah, and people telling me about what he did in the championship. Who gives a fuck? Because so many players go to the championship. Do you know what I do care about? What he did for 2 years in the Premier League. Do you know what he did? 59 appearances, 3 goals, 4 assists.
He's
That's
developed
less than what
since.
Conor Gallagher got last season. And that was in
but
that was in 2 years in the Premier League.
what I will say about that,
He's a championship player. Let's be honest.
no, again, I
Oh.
feel like you discredit in the championship. The championship's a really good level of football. I will stand
Adam
that
yeah.
Armstrong
the day I
scored
die.
25 goals in the
Yeah,
championship.
but okay, fair enough. Adam Armstrong's shit.
He
I get that.
won't get 10 in the Premier League.
Okay, what about Riyad Mahrez then? What about Jamie Vardy? They're in the championship.
Very fair.
Harry Kane couldn't do it in the championship. Goes to the
That
Premier
is
League,
true
smashes
again,
it.
actually. That is
So
a
go on.
good...
What's your argument now, Chris?
You know what? I'm putting biscuits down here. I'm putting biscuits down. I'm so confident. I'm confident.
But
he gets an England call up this year.
They're almost the exception that proves the rule, though.
I agree with that.
There's more championship players who fail in the Premier League than succeed.
Which is, I understand that, but
otherwise, teams like Burnley wouldn't have gone back down.
No,
teams
but
like
then
Luton wouldn't have got relegated again.
Look at Reece James at Wigan. He did it in the
he's a Premier League player.
But he wasn't, was he?
Yeah.
He was in the championship for a loan.
What about Ian Maatson? You know, the guy that smashed it at Burnley, didn't do it in the Prem, but then got to Champions League final. What about that? What about him?
That's true. But he didn't do it on his own.
But now but now we'll see with Maatson how he does at Villa.
Also, he played like
in a year's time. You might be
final.
saying,
okay,
yeah, I can't believe.
But do you think Ian Maatson to Villa, is that a very good signing? Would you say that's a very good signing for 35 mil? A Champions League team.
It's 37.5.
Oh, shut up.
Bloody hell.
Personally, if I was a Villa fan, I'd think that was overpriced.
You know what? I'm going to put it. I'm saying this season. That's fair. He gets an England call up, and I think we need to put some respect because he was in the 21-22 UEFA Europa Conference League team of the tournament. So
wow.
he can do it.
That is experience we need.
But to be fair as well, just to back my point, you know, Jude Bellingham must play tennis as well. I mean, you know, he's in the championship.
Hey, you gotta give this guy credit. Right, we're concluding today the keep, sell or loan series with.
Hang on, I've got another piece of news just before we go on.
Oh
because I know you said you only had one piece of news, so I brought mine.
Fair enough. Okay.
Oh, wow. Ollie's taking over.
He's pulling rank.
Taking over.
Yesterday in the morning, Chelsea and Norwich participated in the I believe it was the final of the Disability Cup. All the players had cerebral palsy. And Norwich won 6-3, but we love them anyway. We love Chelsea anyway. And as with that, Norwich actually they won the league and the cup double.
Wow.
I just wanted to shout out, the club doing something good for
good. I'm glad you took over then, because that I actually did miss, and that
I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for a good reason.
No, that is a bloody good shout. That is an absolute shout. So yes,
just shining a light on something, the good things that the club does, because people don't always see it.
No, that is true. Actually, very, very true. But. Right, we move to the main section. It's concluding the keep, sell or loan series for this year with the forwards. I've since been humbled, of course, that Cole Palmer is an attacking midfielder and should have been included on the midfielder show. But that's who we are going to start with. So, of course, we're all in agreement. Sell, get him gone. No,
it's too confusing.
Look, to be fair, I think we could all agree. Look, I have a list of things that make more sense than selling Cole Palmer. Wearing winter clothes this summer, enjoying spam emails, trying to teach my cat to bark. That'd make more sense than selling him. I mean, are we all agreeing?
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Right,
100%.
I can't see a. Hold on.
Universe. Oh no, Chris! Chris, what are you going to do?
But Mikey, you forgot we've got to sell him because he backed Poch.
Yeah, but
he said some nice words about Poch, so he's got to be sold.
Yeah, that's fair. Actually, have
you not seen that? Have you not seen that meltdown on social media? Because he said some nice things about Poch a few days ago, and then a section of, I would say Chelsea fans, but probably I don't think they deserve the tag. So morons decided that he should be sold because he's not back in the new regime.
Well, we should replace him with that player called Own Goal, who scored another one tonight. I've just seen it's the Colomwani's first goal is now an own goal. Whee!
I don't know who needs to hear this, but that just doesn't make any sense at all. Like, just because you're saying one,
No, of course it doesn't.
just because you're
No,
saying
nothing makes sense.
one
on
thing is
social.
good does not mean the thing that came before it or after it is better or worse.
No.
It's a comment on that one thing alone.
Exactly.
I don't know who needs to hear that.
Yeah.
Right, we've got to be
Pay
careful.
attention.
We've got to be careful with this one because the real Greg D doesn't want us to back him. But Raheem Sterling is next, and he's going to love me because I've got sell. It was tough though. It was tough because on one hand, if a Saudi Pro League club came, I'd do the deal. I'd pay his contract off. To be fair, not personally, I can't afford that. But based on the proposition of keep, sell, loan, I own Chelsea in this instance, and I'd sell him. And I'd reinvest in probably a wonder kid who will join us in 3 years' time. But I would sell him because the wages alone, I think that's why I'm pretty much selling. Ollie?
You know what? I've thought for the longest time about selling Raheem Sterling. It's quite the conundrum, isn't it? Because he doesn't seem to want to move the needle on that left-hand side. But I think I would keep him. He seems to guarantee you at least 10 goals a season, and that's going to make a difference in some games. So I think you kind of need him there. He's kind of the only older player there now as well. Like, unless you're going to count Bettinelli, who never plays. So, he's the one who's going to be the elder statesman to sort of have, to help with the mentality for the younger ones. I think if you get rid of him, you've got to bring someone in at least his same age anyway. So, I don't really see the point. He's already kind of bedded in here. Having said that, I think if he doesn't have a good year, I do think then maybe we should sell him because, let's be honest, ever since he has come to Chelsea, despite him just getting sort of 10 goals, he's never really kicked on and been the player he was at Man City. It seems the price of Sterling has only gone down. Let's put it that way.
I like what you did there. I like what you did there. I think I would sell him. It's a difficult one, but I think I would just sell him just because I've always liked Sterling, to be fair, but I think it's time now that he just moved on. He's not a player that he used to be. I don't think he's as sharp. He still will get you a good goal, but I think his play in general is actually quite poor now. And I just think for all parties, I think it'd be best if he moved on. He's on a lot of wages, so yeah, for me, I'd sell him.
Chris?
I'd keep. I think. Again, a bit like what Ollie said, really. I think his experience is important. I still think his numbers was decent. There was a few games towards the end of the season where he come off the bench and saved us with important goals. I think Sterling's one of them people who people love to hate. But I don't. We haven't got anyone at the moment who's hands down better than Sterling to play on the left hand side.
Oh well, funny.
So people will say Nkunku.
With
No,
that
people
in mind, I would keep.
People
him.
will say Nkunku to that, but what my counter to that is Nkunku isn't a natural left winger.
That's fair.
Yeah, exactly. I think Nkunku would be better than Sterling, obviously, but
Don't worry.
we don't know whether that's where he's actually going to play.
Well, funnily enough,
Thanks.
next up we have got Mykhailo Mudryk. Oh yes, and for me, I've got sell. I'm going to be honest. I've got to be honest. He just doesn't cut it. I mean, we're all out here. We're hoping, we're praying he'll find that groove and in the league and tap into that potential we know and hit the ceiling that we keep talking about. But from what I've seen the ceiling's collapsed, the floor's given way, and I'm plain tired of hoping now. I'm really tired of it, and I've just sell, see what we can get. I don't know. It's not like it's a car boot sale, get what you can. If someone offers me 20p, yeah, why not? But Chris, what do you think, Mudryk?
Easiest sell on the list.
Well, he got injured in the gym as well. I saw that, and I was like, oh no, couldn't have got more stereotypical than that.
Firstly, I think Mudryk does more in the gym than he does on the pitch. So
it's fair.
Go and do that then, mate, because football ain't your thing. I think he's only shown flashes and not even games. I mean, just little moments in matches that he could be good. But I don't think he's ever been a really good player, and I don't think he'll ever be a really good player. So I would cut our losses now, because I think if we keep him for another year, I think his value only goes down further.
I
And
agree.
it's already going to have decreased a lot now anyway.
Yeah.
So I would try and sell him before his value is next to nothing.
Berth?
I'm a bit different here. So I'm going to go key, but
Extend his deal.
Another 5
reassess in
years.
January, because if he's not good enough by January, I'd say sell him then. I think he does give you something different to the other players in his pace. I don't think he's been anywhere near good enough. He does show glimpses, but I just think we haven't got anyone else like him in the team at the minute. So I think you got to sort of reevaluate in January. But at the minute, I would just keep him just for that sort of unpredictability and that pace, and because we've got no one else like him.
Ollie?
I would keep him, but am I a gunslinger in the Old West, and am I very lucky because it's last chance saloon for you, Mykhailo? Yeah, I think I would keep him, but this season has to be the season for Mykhailo Mudryk. Like Chris has said, we've seen it in little moments. It's not enough. We need to see it in games, in big moments, in big games. We need to see it consistently throughout matches. And he was starting to get there towards the end of the season, but oh my God, like despite how fast he is, he seems to be so slow with accelerating with his progress. So I just like this has to be. I've never seen a footballer like Mudryk. It would be a crime if it didn't work out for him here. So I just think if we've got to try with him. I just can't give up on him.
That's fair enough. Noni Madueke. Hey, look, I've got keep, because if Chelsea had won the race to sign Michael Olise, I might be sat here saying we should sell my man, but we didn't, and I am not. Ollie?
Yeah, I'd back Madueke, especially now that Olise is not coming in. I think you're right. That makes a big difference, because truthfully, I don't think there are many more who are better that we can buy than him at the moment anyway. And he knows the club, he knows the squad, all of this stuff. As well as that, though, I think I'm not viewing him as a long-term solution on that right-hand side either necessarily, because we've got Esteval coming. And when he is going to be playing for us, like presumably he's going to be playing for us straight away, apparently, if the reports are to be believed. So we're going to need to have space on that right-hand side for it.
I'm going to go Chris.
Keep. I think Madueke's got a higher ceiling than Mudryk has. I just don't think he's got the PR machine behind him as much as Mudryk has. Yeah, Madueke towards the end of the season, I thought again turned into a really important player for us. He's just a little bit too unpredictable for me, Madueke. He's either going to be great or awful, and I just think he needs to find a little bit more consistency in terms of, I'd rather him just be like a 7 out of 10 every week than be a 10 and then a 4.
Okay.
So, but he can do it, and I think he's
made more impacts in more games than Mudryk has.
Definitely. I think he's a little bit different to our other wingers, one in the fact that he does like to go past people. He likes to beat players, and it's not a profile we have a lot of. So for that, he's a definite keep for me.
Yeah, I'd keep him. Like Chris said, I think he's sort of the only player that likes to take players on, and I really like that. I'd like to see him do it more. Actually, I don't think he's looks that good when he's safe in possession. But yeah, I'd keep him. I do like Madueke.
Yeah.
I think he showed last season, especially last half, that he can get a goal. He's something different, creative, and he is quick as well. So. Yeah, I do like him. Like Chris said, if he can keep that consistency and gives you a 7 out of 10 each week, I don't think we should really be looking at another right winger. So yeah, I'd keep him.
Okay. Right, we move to Nicolas Jackson, and for me, it was keep, because he was one of the signings of 23-24. I don't want to hear about Kai Havertz. In fact, I don't want to even hear. I don't think any player in the Premier League had a better debut season for their new club, Cole Palmer. Fuck. Outside of Cole Palmer. Declan Rice, not him. But honestly, Jackson is an absolute underrated gem, and he is second to have a great debut season. Darn, I forgot about that. What about you, Chris? I feel like we're all going to agree, but Chris?
Yeah, he's a keep for me. I think he's actually criminally
Agreed.
underrated. I think his first season was actually really good when you look at it. You know, for the expectations, for the money we paid, for where he came from. When you look at the fact that he hadn't really played a full season as a professional, he's coming into a high pressure environment of being Chelsea's main striker. I don't think you could have asked for a lot more. Yes, he missed some chances, but that does seem to be the only thing people talk about with Jackson. Yeah, exactly. Everyone with Jackson seems to focus on the fact that he's missed these chances rather than the goals that he scored. It's really odd. You're not going to find a striker who doesn't miss chances. They all do. That's
He
kind
scored,
of part and parcel of the
he
job.
He scored more than Havertz, and yet Havertz had the amazing season.
Yeah, I think with Jackson, he is the player that I don't think we need to sign a starting striker because we need to back Jackson for another season. If he fails this season, then you can go and look for a starting striker. But at some point, we've got to start backing one of the strikers that comes in
100%.
for more than a season.
Yeah, I really like Jackson. I'd keep him. I think he's, like everyone said, he's had a very good first season. I think he'll only get better. And what I like about Jackson is that he's just a borderline psychopath. Like, he's just absolutely crazy. And that sounds ridiculous, but yeah,
need a few
do.
characters
I think that's
like
why
that,
Chelsea
don't
fans actually love him, because he is just a bit mental. I mean, what summed it up was when he scored the winner against Notts Forest and just jumped into the crowd, not a little bit, just ran into the crowd. And for me, like, it's just nice to see that passion, that energy, and yeah, I think he'll only get better next season. So yeah, keep.
Ollie?
Yeah, I think one of the easier keeps for me on the list as well. I don't think Jackson was ever in danger of being sold because I think, like you say, his season was quite good from the first for his first debut season in the Premier League as a striker at a big club. You know, like when you put all the context around it, it's a good season.
Yeah.
I will say one thing: occasionally he can be a little bit frustrating with his chances, as we know. And the other thing I will say is that I do think his hat trick against Spurs is doing quite a lot of heavy lifting for him, like in the last season. But then again, you can say, like, when's the last time a striker for Chelsea scored a hat trick against Spurs? So, it's half and half.
Just going back onto that, with that, it wasn't a good hat trick, but he did still have to be there to score.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Erling Haaland scores those hat tricks all the time. Erling Haaland doesn't score a good hat trick. They're all tap-ins.
Yeah, and he doesn't turn up. He doesn't turn up in the big games.
Like 20% of his goals.
Jackson is the only striker again. Yeah, Jackson, only striker again I know who gets criticised for tapping.
Yeah,
it's really odd.
Yeah,
like the whole sort of vibe around Jackson's really weird.
You score.
I think people do try for whatever reason. People just somehow didn't take a liking to him and just wanted to criticize him for anything. I just wanted to represent the views of Jackson, but I do like him a lot.
Christopher Nkunku, very easy one. Keep. Injuries destroyed his rookie campaign at the Blues. Hopefully that sophomore season it delivers everything we want and more balloons. Need more balloons. Chris.
Yeah, he's keep, but I feel like I've got to be fair here.
Oh,
because of what I said about Reece James, Wesley Fofana, Lavia. I think Nkunku's another one. He has to stay fit.
Yep.
If he doesn't stay fit, then he's another one who's on the sale list next summer because there's no point in having these players who don't play. And it was a really unfortunate injury, and I hope that he doesn't get another one because he didn't. He was a player who didn't have a lot of setbacks, which makes me think that he could stay fit if he avoids any sort of unfortunate injury. But he has to have the caveat next to him again of he has to be available to play.
Okay. Ollie?
I'm exactly the same as Chris. He gets the Reece James, Wesley Fofana clause. Listen, if you're getting injured in pre-season, if you're getting injured in a warm-up to a game, if you get injured in training, my God, you are gone. But other than that, I think we have to keep him because he's just because he's clearly one of the best finishers at the club. Just stay fit, for God's sake.
Literally, I agree with everything that everyone said. I think you could argue he's top 3 best players when he's fit, but when he's not fit, it's just pointless having him. So he's got to be in that same bracket as Reece James and Fofana, and so it's a big season for him. Hopefully he stays fit. If he does, I think we'll Will be up there next season if he stays fit. He's that good.
I love the optimism. Deivid Washington, for me, loan. He played a little over 10 minutes in the Premier League last year. Is he any good? Not a bloody clue. Shall we find out at Strasbourg? Why not?
Yeah, it's got to be a loan, I think. A good loan. Obviously, Strasbourg's the obvious one.
To the Championship.
It's a
well, it's good enough for Dewsbury-Hall, isn't it?
Yeah.
Honestly, don't diss the Championship. But yeah, somewhere like that, it's fine.
I'm not having
that. Game time, that's the main thing. Game time is crucial for him. He's still very young, a lot of potential. So yeah, it's got to be a loan, I think.
Chris?
Oh.
So,
whoa. What? Okay.
Didn't get any chance in the first team last season, which when we was crying out, especially when Jackson was away at AFCON and we was crying out for someone to play up front, and he never even got a sniff, which suggests to me that the people aren't seeing a lot on the training ground to suggest that he's going to be any good. We've just signed that other young striker. I just don't see a pathway into the team. Yeah, I don't see the pathway into the team for him, so you might as well sell him now.
Wow.
Because at the minute, he's a completely unknown player, so I think you'd get high value. I think if he goes on a poor loan, and we do have a habit of sending our players on poor loans, again, he's got the Armando Broja about him then, he's worth nothing.
Ollie.
I think it's a little hard to I don't know. I think that's a bit harsh to give up on one of our founding fathers so easily. For me, I love that. I don't know. The thing is, I've seen a little bit of Deivid Washington in the academy, and he's too good for the academy. In truth, from what I've seen of him when he's been playing for the under-21s and the under-23s, he seems too good for them. So that would indicate to me that he needs a loan, because I don't think he's still quite ready for the top level. I think he needs a year playing men's football, and once he's playing men's football on a consistent basis, week in, week out, maybe then it'll it'll make more sense to transition him into the first team. But I think even with doing that, loans can go both ways, can't they? Either he has a brilliant year and he's straight in the squad, or we sell him for profit, or he has a terrible season and then you can't sell him for anything after that. So. But the thing is, I think if we sold him now, I don't think we'd get back what we bought him for anyway. So I don't know.
Armando Broja or however. Sell, because why, Ollie? What is he?
Hang on.
No. Oh, well, your other catchphrase.
I don't know.
Pure profit.
Of course he is. Yeah, he's pure profit.
And if we can get 25 million for him, I'll be smiling like the Joker. I don't know if we'll get 25. I don't even know what his value is. Chris doesn't seem to know either. Fuck all. I don't know. Chris, it's I'm guessing sell, but how much?
Definite sell. And at this point, tell you what you can get. I think you'd be lucky to get 10 million.
Oh,
he had a okay spell at Southampton. He was dog shit at Chelsea, and then he went to Fulham and was fucking awful. So his value is at rock bottom. I think if you can get 10 million, take it and run.
It's not like he had a good international tournament to buoy it either. I didn't think he was very good for Albania.
No. Did he play?
He did, but not very much.
I don't remember.
Doesn't even play for the Albanian national team.
He didn't start though. He didn't start he wasn't playing every minute of every game, and he didn't start every game. So that tells you everything you need to know.
Are you saying sell then?
I am.
Yes.
I just think he needs a new environment, and it needs to not be at Chelsea.
That's fair. Berth?
Yeah, I think this is the easiest thing.
We all wanted it to work, but another one, arguably with the injuries and stuff, it just hasn't worked out for him.
And honestly, let's be real here. He's just shit. He is just shit.
If you're listening, that's Armando's family giving us no reviews.
If Armando Broja is listening, I've always rated you, and you're the best player I've ever seen at Chelsea. So please don't hate me for it.
Yeah, I'm not sure that one's not turning up on Sheva's shout outs, is it?
No, it's never happening. Right, this is good. This is the final name on the list, and I don't know. I genuinely don't know where one of us is going to go with this, and you know who I'm on about. It's Romelu Lukaku. He's now out of the Euros. They didn't get through against France, but for me, sell, because he is one of the worst signings in the history of sport. He's worse than Albert Hainsworth to the Washington Commanders. He's worse than Eden Hazard to Real Madrid, and worse than Gilbert Arenas to the Washington Wizards. Listeners, if you know, you know. I don't know how much we're getting for him. I don't need to care. We need to sell him. Ollie, I'm going to Ollie. I'm going to Berth.
Go on, Berth.
I'll go because I agree with Mikey here that I think we just have to sell him. And I try and give Lukaku a bit of leeway because on his day he is class, but he just don't want to be at Chelsea. He's never wanted to be at Chelsea. Showed glimpses, but it's just been a waste of money, hasn't it, really? Let's be honest. Just a waste of money. I don't care how much of a different option he can give you. I don't care how prolific he's been in the past. It's just not going to work out at Chelsea. And for his benefit and our benefit, we just have to sell him. And that's that. That's for me. That's the only option here. So
I think that's 100% fair. I'm going to the controversy. I'm so curious where you get Chris. What are you doing? I'm curious.
So.
Okay, good.
I'm selling because he doesn't want to be here. But I think the Lukaku transfer is the worst transfer we've possibly done in the last 10 years on all sides involved. Lukaku didn't help himself, but the club fucked up big time as well. Because you don't spend £97 million on a centre forward and then don't have your manager back him. That's not how it works. If you make big money signings, then you make sure that the manager's going to be behind that player, because otherwise this happens. You end up having a £97 million player that you've loaned out 3 times. The transfer and the situation from everyone was handled really, really poorly. But Lukaku would be great in our team. He would, but he doesn't want to be here, so there's no point keeping him.
No. Yeah. Ollie, is it a full house of selling?
It is. Like, listen, like everyone can say everything about Lukaku in the interview and everything like that. You know, like who overreacted, what happened. The fact here, and for that reason, you got to end the goddamn saga. You got to cut the snake off by the head. You just got to end it. Like it doesn't matter how it ends. It doesn't matter why it ends. It doesn't matter who it ends. It must end.
I'll be interested.
I'll tell you what, you've just dropped absolute fire there. That was just like sound like a rap song.
Oh, thank you.
I'll be very curious to see if any listeners go, I know the Gilbert Arenas deal. I know who he is. If you were a Washington Wizards fan, I'm so sorry. But hey, that's keeps our loan for another year, and we'll be there to do it again next year. Lukaku will probably still be on our books. So we're going to move to Quaresma's questions. We've got 2 incredible questions as always. Huff has asked, what do you think of the Nicolas Jackson for Alexander Isak swap rumour? Do you like it? Hate it? Ready to live with it?
I really like Isaac, but I'd rather not sell Nicolas Jackson to Newcastle. I'd rather keep and have them both. But I do like Isaac. Isaac to Chelsea would work really well if he stays fit. That's the problem.
I mean, to be fair, honestly, if ever a transfer deal needs investigating, it would be this one if it actually happened, because Newcastle and Chelsea are 2 clubs who jump through PSR hoops like they're a dog at Crufts. I hope this deal is just a nonsensical clickbait rumour and nothing more. I rate Jackson highly. Isak is quality, but I like Jackson. And player for player at Chelsea, I kind of think Jackson's got the higher ceiling based on Chelsea. I just feel that he's already proven at Chelsea. I could see another big money move for a big name player just failing again. I would keep. Ollie?
Yeah, I think if it's a straight swap, I would prefer to keep Jackson. He's just got that little bit sort of that because he's a little bit of a nutter. He's got that kind of he's got that edge to him, which is actually really important for a centre forward. Isak's great. Isak plays really good football. He's a really great finisher. I'm like Berth. I would like to have both, because actually, not only if you did get both, that solves the left wing problem as well, because him and Jackson could both play off the left.
Yeah.
So
trouble is, Isak's so old. He's 25 in September. It just doesn't fit the
oh yeah,
club
never
model.
mind.
Wow.
Doesn't
Never
fit the
mind,
club
man.
model. Chris?
I think Nicolas Jackson is as good as Alexander Isak.
That's a bold shout.
Wow.
I think
I
that
think
is
if
a bold shout.
Isak's a better finisher.
Well, yeah, but if you take away penalties last year, I think Jackson scored more than
Ooh,
Isak.
I'm going to look this up actually.
Probably in
Isak
less
didn't play.
minutes.
I don't think Isak
because-
played every minute.
because
of
he
it,
went
like,
away
as
to
many
AFCON.
minutes though.
Yeah, it will be close.
It will be close.
I just think Jackson, they're very similar in the way that they play, and I think Jackson can do everything that Isak can do. I think Isak is a more refined finisher at the minute, but Jackson's younger, so I think he can develop that. And I think we'd have a player as good as Isak in a year, maybe two, anyway. So I wouldn't get rid of Jackson for Isak.
Okay.
I think Jackson. I honestly rate Jackson really highly. I think he's incredibly underrated.
No, I think that's quite fair on the underrated part. I'm trying to find out about penalties. Here we go. Isak got 5 penalties, so that would bring him down to 16 goals. And Jackson, he's on
Jackson
the
got 14, didn't he?
he
14,
got
didn't he?
no penalties. Ooh, good
Yeah,
shout,
14,
Chris.
no pens.
Good
Yeah,
shout.
it's close. It's
Yeah.
definitely close.
Looking at
And he went away to AFCON for 6 weeks.
That is true. That is true.
I'd like to see how many minutes they both played though, because I was under the impression that Isak played fewer minutes, but I'm not certain about that.
I'll look whilst you answer this question from Super TNT 610. He asks if you could add one former player to Chelsea's current squad, who would it be and why?
Easy, Eden Hazard. I just think he's unbelievable, and I think like I watched clips of him the other day, and I forgot how good he was at Chelsea. I've never seen a player like him. He can take a game, go past players, score goals. He did everything.
You couldn't predict what he was going to do, could you?
No,
Like,
and if you had him and Palmer playing, it would just be magic. It really would be
good
magic.
balance, wouldn't it? With Palmer with the finishing and Hazard with the playmaking, it'd be really nice.
Just under 600 more minutes. Jackson played.
Jackson played more.
Just
Okay,
under 600 more minutes than Isak. 2265 for Isak and 2804 for Jackson. So
Isak scored 2 more goals with without penalties. I don't know. I think that makes him probably a little bit better. I think, but yeah. I think I would go for Petr Cech actually.
He can't play with his feet. No way is he working out in a Maresca system.
I don't care. You have to play him. I think that we are crying out for a goalkeeper, really. And I know, like, we all want to put faith in Petrovic, and we all really don't want to put faith in Rob Sanchez. I think, yeah, exactly, can't do it. So I think the goalkeeper situation is the weakest it's been in absolutely ages. Even when we had Kepa, arguably.
No way is Kepa better than Petrovic. And
in Maresca's system, you might be in Maresca's system. You never know.
That's fair, that's fair.
I think he would be. I think he would be better than Petrovic. That might be controversial, but I think.
And to be fair,
probably is.
I think Kepa at his best is better than Petrovic.
Agreed.
But that's what I'm getting at.
It's
is I think for that reason, we can all tell that the keeping situation at the club at the moment is really not great. And so, like, I think if you could just plop a prime Petr Cech down there. Like, you're stopping, like, I don't know, 20 more goals? Like, you're going to shoot 20 fewer goals in a season.
Chris, who's the player? Who's the player?
I really do agree with what Ollie just said. But for me, I have to go Eden Hazard with birth.
Wow.
I think Hazard is so good. If you put the Hazard we had in this team and made no more signings, I think we challenge for the title. That's how good Hazard was, because he would win you games by himself.
Yeah, he literally would win you games by himself. He would do something that literally nobody else on the pitch could or would do. He would just do it every week.
I've gone a bit rogue here. I thought it has to be a striker. You need a proven goal scorer, and for me, no one was a better goal scorer. It's not. It was tempting, but no, a better goal in the Premier League. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
Shevchenko.
A good shout. No. Hasselbank's a great shout.
Pato.
No, you do not disrespect Pato's name. Look, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank had powerful shots. He was a clinical finisher. I kind of feel that in a Maresca side, he would enhance the attack. And I kind of feel like he'd just be the man ready to finish every chance he gets. He was just such a Swiss Army knife of a striker. He could score from distance. He could take a penalty. He could score a close range goal. And he had that physical aura about him. And the opposition knew he was a threat. I mean, God damn, can we have him back? I mean, Super TNT, if you've got that time machine, if you've got it, oh my word, we need it. We'll bring in Hazard as well.
I really loved Hasselbank because he was a hammer and goddamn was that ball and nails. No matter what happened, he just smashed it as hard as he can. And it's a really good strategy.
So good. If you hit it
when
hard
you've got
enough.
A leg like that, it's unbelievable.
If you hit it hard enough, the keeper's going in the net with the ball. That's the thing.
Especially if they're one of these keepers that probably try and somehow pass it out from the back.
Yeah.
You know, today
Robert
he scored 30 goals. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? We're going to end the Monday show with a game of, I'm going to whisper it. Who's that former Blue?
Oh my goodness!
I know, out of nowhere.
It's back.
They played 23 times for Chelsea and made a total of 2 assists in 8 years at Chelsea.
Probably a striker then.
He made his debut for us against Maccabi Tel Aviv in the Champions League group stage, and he has played with Klashan Huntelaar, Andy Carroll, and Edouard Mendy. None at Chelsea. I just want to quote this. None of those were at Chelsea when he played with them.
Can you say the players again, please? He played with.
You've got Klashan Huntelaar. You've got Andy Carroll and Edouard Mendy. Yes, our own incredible Champions League keeper, Edouard Mendy.
I'm not sure. I think I would need the clubs. I think
you want. Okay, I'll give you the clubs. So Huntelaar was at Schalke. Andy Carroll was at Reading. And Edouard Mendy was at Stade Reims.
It's not.
It's
not. No, it could be.
Go on, Chris. Have a go.
Just say it, Chris. Just say.
Michael Mancian?
No. I can't imagine Mancian going. Did he go to France? Did he?
He went.
I don't know.
I was working off the German vibe. He went to Hamburg, I think. It might have been
where did he play with Mendy? Sorry, where did he play with Mendy?
Stade Reims. I think that's right.
Okay.
I'm going to best check this. Just see if there's a pronunciation.
I'm really stumped here. I have no idea.
Yeah. Are there any more clues you can give us, Mikey, or not?
Oh, Stade Reims. So I was really far out. I didn't even get it close.
I think Stade Reims is correct. I think you had it right.
I could go onto the YouTube version, see what they say.
It's definitely not Stade Reims.
Hey, I'm going based off the Google voice here. This is the British pronunciation. This is the American one. It come up.
Stade Reims.
Oh, that doesn't sound right either.
Right, there you go. So it all doesn't work. No. I don't know who this is. I genuinely don't know.
I'm a bit stumped here myself.
Wow.
What was the appearances and assists again?
2 assists in 8 years, and they played 23 games for us.
What position did he play?
He played.
So he was here for 8 years.
Defender. We paid a lot of money for him.
23 games.
Defender.
Shit defender.
Is it? I could give you the clubs he went on loan to.
Did you say Reading?
Yes, he was at Reading.
Yeah,
twice.
Is it Matt Maiga?
Yeah,
it's not.
Okay, no. I've got a guess. Is it Thomas Callas?
No. Oh my word, this is great. So the club,
Mikey, tell us.
Chelsea. He was at Chelsea. He went on loan to Schalke, and then he came back, and then he stayed with us for a year, and then he went back to Schalke, and then he went to Reims, and then he went to Mallorca, then he went to PAOK, then he went to Reading, and then he went to Reading, and now he's at PAOK.
Not Barbara Rahman, is it?
It's Barbara Rahman.
Yeah.
I remember signing.
I didn't realize he went to France. I knew he was at Schalke the last time I remember. He really fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
He cost us 14 million, rising to 22. I really doubt we hit those.
Yeah, I think it's a 14 then. Yeah.
I don't even know what they were. I mean, he was so good in Germany, and that's why the Chelsea curse, isn't it? He comes to Chelsea, he probably sucked.
He was in the same window as Papa Dillabodji, wasn't he?
Yeah, I feel that's
and
probably
Michael
right.
Hector.
Yeah,
that's the standard of transfer window we're going for this year, isn't it? Yeah. We love that one.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to check what the transfer window was for that. We had Pedro, good player, Barbara Rahman, Begovic, Kennedy, Falcao on loan.
Oh.
Oh, Hector, Miazga, Nathan. I don't even remember him. Oh yeah, I sort of do. Gilabogi and Danilo Pantic. Oh, we got Pato as well on loan. Shut up.
Oh, that might be one of our worst transfer windows ever.
No, it wasn't.
I think that's our worst. I genuinely think that is our worst. Though.
Is that what I think? Yeah, because at least like the 17-18 window, like you got Zappacosta gave you that one goal. No one in that list offered almost anything except for Pedro.
I'm just going back like to see what the worst selling window might have been. I've got a feeling it's going to be the one with most salary.
You wait till the end of this summer transfer window.
We'll see. Right. Thank you for listening. As always, treat yourself well. We'll be back on Thursday with a scout report because we all want to watch the football on Friday. So until then, that'll be us signing off.
You've been listening to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At the Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.